All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Nivs. It's Dr. Joe's reading and writing class. Today is September 25th, 2025. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 22 in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 22 in the chat? All right, awesome, nice. Anybody else? Can anybody else hear me? I am feeling 22. What does that even mean? Um, nice, Johnny. Okay, I think Johnny, this is your first class. Um, awesome. Okay. Annabelle sent it in two messages. So I don't know if that counts, but I'm gonna let it slide. Let's get that's the wrong two. Okay, anyways, let's get into it. Before we do book of the day, who here has read the book of the day? Who here has read Coraline? Anybody? Raise your hand if you have. No? Okay, who here has watched the movie? Nobody? What? Nobody has seen the movie? Wow. Okay. Well, I recommend the book, and then after that, definitely recommend the movie. Movie's like has won tons of awards. Great, all ages. Even the book is all ages, but I think the movie is a bit more geared towards people your age. Okay, can I get a volunteer reader? Any volunteers? Raise your hand. Anyone. Okay, okay. Let's go with Annabelle. Start us off.
Coraline by Neil Gaiman. The day after they moved in, Coraline went exploring. In Coraline's family's new flat are 21 windows and 14 doors. 13 of the doors open and close. The 14th is locked, and on the other side is only a brick wall until the day Coraline unlocks the door to find a passage to another flat in another house, just like her own. Only it's different. At first, things seem marvelous in the other flat. The food is better. The toy box is filled with wind-up angels that flutter around the bedroom, books whose pictures writhe and crawl and shimmer, little dinosaur skulls that chatter their teeth. But there's another mother and another father, and they want Coraline to stay with them and be their little girl. They want to change her and never let her go. Other children are trapped there as well, lost souls behind the mirrors. Coraline is their only hope of rescue. She will have to fight with all her wits and all the tools she can find as she is to save the lost children, her ordinary life, and herself. Critically acclaimed and award-winning author Neil Gaiman will delight readers with his first novel for all ages.
Awesome. Um, this is it who here knows who Neil Gaiman is? Nobody? Okay. Anyways, extremely successful author. I think he might be the most highest selling author of all time as well. But he doesn't make children's books. So this is the first book he made that was for everyone, and it was just amazing, and it was super successful. So it's very cool. The movie, by the way, is also it's like kind of a horror movie, but not really. Like it's like very not scary. I don't like horror movies, so just keep that in mind. So, anyways, um, can I get a volunteer reader here for the mini biography? Mm, how about Johnny? Johnny, would you like to read this one?
Neil Gaiman, born 1916 in England, is a famous British writer known for his creative mix of fantasy, horror, and mythology. He first became well known for his comic series, The Sandman, and later wrote award-winning novels such as Coraline, American Gods, and The Graveyard Book. Gaiman, Gaiman is co-written Good Omens with Terry Pratchett and worked on TV shows and films. His stories are loved for their imagination and abilities to appeal to both kids and adults. Today, he continues to write books and screenplays while supporting literacy and libraries.
Awesome. Thank you for reading that, Johnny. Um, yeah, super successful. I'll while you guys are completing the next activity, I'll look up where he ranks in like the highest selling authors because I think he might be number one. Um, okay. And let's go to the quote of the day. We have quite a big class, so I'm going to actually cut this down to 4 minutes, 3 sentences. So the quote reads, sometimes you wake up, sometimes the fall kills you, and sometimes when you fall, you fly. Now, this is um, a very short snippet. I'm not giving you any context. I want you to interpret it however you may interpret it. There is no obvious correct answer. We'll leave it that way. There's no obvious correct interpretation. So I leave it open up to you guys. Johnny, how this works is I put this up, I put a timer, and people submit their responses in the meeting chat. So you can type it somewhere else and then copy and paste in the meeting chat, or you can just write it and send it directly in the meeting chat. And it doesn't have to be a direct message. You could just send it to the big group because I'm going to put it up on the screen anyways. Okay, so starting the 4 minute timer now. All right, all right. The time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Um, let's start with Ethan. Ethan, would you like to read yours?
I think this quote by Neil Gaiman is stating that when you wake up, you have limits to what you can do in the real world. He's also saying that in your dreams, you can do anything you want, but when you try to do those things in real life, they can threaten your life.
Interesting. Mm, you wake up, you have limits to what you can do in the real world. Okay, interesting. So it's you took it a very literal way that um sort of sometimes when you fall. Okay, interesting analysis. Okay, let's go to James. James, would you like to read yours? Oh, I did it.
I think that this quote
Sorry.
means that, wait,
Go for it.
I think that this quote means there are no limits when you dream. Nothing is impossible and you can achieve anything. The segment, when you fall, you fly, allows me to infer that it is saying that the road to success will be bumpy, however, it is possible.
That's it. Okay, awesome. The segment, comma, when you fall, you fly, um, comma, allows me to infer that it's saying, um, allows me to infer that it's saying, this is sort of, we're sort of repeating the same idea, right? Allows me to infer, and then also that it's saying. So I think we can just leave it at, um, allows me to infer that the road to success will be bumpy, however, it's possible. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, good stuff there, James. And then I just put a semicolon here just so to separate these 2 points. Quote means there are no limits when you dream, and nothing is impossible. You can achieve anything. You needed to separate it with some sort of punctuation. Semicolon seemed um like a good choice here. All right. All right, Russell, would you like to read yours?
I believe that this quote is conveying that situations in life could have very different outcomes. Sometimes we learn from an obstacle, which is the wake up part of what Neil Gaiman is saying. Sometimes we're deeply hurt or affected by it, which directly corresponds to the fall kills you part of the quote. Lastly, sometimes we achieve whatever goal that we have and reach our full potential, being the fly part.
Awesome. Okay. Sometimes we are deeply hurt or affected by it, which directly corresponds to the fall kills you part of the quote. We sometimes we achieve whatever goal we have, reach the full potential of being the fly part. Awesome. So I really like how you incorporated the like segments of the quotes here to explain what you're saying. Now, a way to level this up even further would be rather than directly stating like, oh, that corresponds to the fall kills you part of the quote. Sometimes you can even like you can even use the quotes directly. So for example, we could say lastly, sometimes we achieve whatever goal we have. We reach our potential um and fly or whatever, right? And then you just use quotes when you use the word fly, and then the reader will understand that you're referring to the actual quote itself and you're using the words, and the rest of the sentence will give context to why you chose to use fly in quotations. So That's just another way to level this up, I think. But overall, great job. Cool. We have Annabelle, Austin, and Johnny. I see you messaged your response in private message. Could you just copy and paste that into the chat with everyone? So just easier for me to access. Okay. Annabelle, would you like to start us off or keep us going?
I believe Neil Gaiman is trying to say that sometimes unfortunate things happen, but other times in the middle of a bad situation, something hopeful or good occurs. For example, if you're playing basketball against another team and some of your teammates can't play, you will probably lose the game. However, there is still a slight chance for you to win even though you are at a disadvantage.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Cool. Also, good choice using basketball because it's the best sport. Okay, good job overall, Annabelle. Good punctuation and everything. Oh wait. Let's throw this response over here. Okay. Johnny, I'm just gonna copy your private message, but next time just send it in the main chat with everyone. Because I'm gonna post it here anyways, right? So Austin, would you like to read yours?
I believe that this quote means sometimes life presents us with unexpected twists and turns, yet within the chaos there lies the potential for transformation. If we're willing to take a leap forward, we might discover that we're capable of soaring to new levels.
Awesome. Really great analysis here. So I believe that this quote means sometimes life yet yet within the chaos there lies the potential for transformation. Later we might discover that we are capable of switching. Wow, this is a great I would say sentence here. I love this analysis and the punctuation and the way it's phrased. Awesome. Only thing here is this intro. I would say I believe this quote means I think it's just a colon would imply that both sides of the sentence are full complete sentences. Or there are a few uses of colons, but in this case it's not needed. So let's do means that sometimes that's a bit it's a bit smoother. Makes more sense. All right, Johnny, would you like to read yours?
I'm guessing that this quote from Gaiman means when you fall down, you can be threatened, but sometimes you can be successful. Another idea is you dreaming something, and either you're successful or your life gets threatened.
Is you dreaming something and or other you sure. Other idea is you dream something and either you are you successful or your life gets threatened. No? Fall down, you can be threatened, but sometimes you can be successful. So the only thing is when you fall down, you can be threatened. So I would say rather than when you fall down, you can be threatened, it, maybe say that when you fall down, you might give up. You might it's just not clear what threatening means in this context. So maybe like, yeah, like so when you fall down, sometimes you never get up. Sometimes you give up, etc. Like in any depending on the context. But then also sometimes you can, get up and be successful, right? So also another idea is you dream something and you're either successful or your life gets threatened. Okay, so this is a more literal interpretation of the quote. I like this one. I like this one a bit better. It's a bit general. It's a bit broad, but it's also quite interesting. Then it's cool that you say after you fall down, you can either sort of be threatened, or I would say another way to say that is like you may never get back up, but sometimes you get up and you can be successful. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. I got James, I got Ethan. Okay, cool. Let's go move on to the vocab of the day. So, um, Johnny, we do vocab of the day, and it originally used to be write one paragraph, but students started to challenge themselves and write one sentence using all the words. And originally I was against it, but it was kind of a little bit of a fun challenge. So now, and then we used to do like 1 week you can write one sentence, 1 week you do paragraphs, but we found the best compromise was to just allow students to pick a paragraph or one sentence. So anyways, we go through all the words, then write one paragraph or sentence using all the words. So who would like to read the vocab words? Let's get Samuel. Samuel, would you like to read this?
Tedium, noun. The state of being tedious or boring. Coraline longed for adventure to break the tedium of rainy afternoon. Insidious, adjective. Proceeding in gradual, harmful way. The other mother's insidious kindness masked her true intentions. Wary, adjective. Cautious, on guard against danger. Coraline was wary of the other mother's too perfect smile. Pallid, adjective. Pale, lacking color or vitality. The room was lit by the pallid glow of the moon. Tepid, adjective. Only slightly warm, lukewarm. She washed her hands in the tepid water from the tap.
Awesome. So this one is tepid. Okay, and yeah, so you got all these words that are from the book Coraline. So there you will see all of these words in the context in the book. So highly recommend. Okay, 3 minutes. You guys know the drill. Starting the timer now. All right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay, Russell, start us off.
George was very wary about the way when Bob walked into the room. It always seemed pallid and depleted of all color, so he excused himself to go to the bathroom and be in tedium while he washed his hands in tepid water, trying to avoid Bob.
In tepid water, okay. Um, it always seemed pallid and depleted of all color. So he excused himself to go to the bathroom and be in tedium while he washes tepid water, trying to avoid. I think we mean washed his hands in tepid water. And here is a full sentence separated by a coordinating conjunction. So we need a comma there. Good stuff. Good stuff, Russell. Good use of all the words. Okay, James, would you like to read yours?
Jimmy was tedious, as a pallid and wary wolf's insidious approach made him bored. Jimmy decided to pour tepid water on the wolf to scare him off.
Awesome. Was tedious as a pallid and wary wolf's insidious. Wary wolf's insidious approach made him bored. Was tedious.
I forgot it was tedium. I spelled it wrong by accident.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I think we should say okay, fine. We can just keep it as tedious. Was tedious as a pallid. And wary wolf's insidious made him bored. Tedious. Tedious means bored, like being bored. So it sort of was bored because this made him bored. So we can just say, Jimmy found the Paladin werewolf's insidious approach boring. This would regardless though, this needs to be a separate sentence. We repeated this subject, and it's a whole other complete thought. Jimmy decided to pour tepid water on the wolf to scare him off. Okay, nice there. Then this would just need to be highlighted. Okay, Ethan, would you like to read yours?
I kind of typed a bit fast, so over here it's supposed to be his.
Sure.
Here it's supposed to be heard with an A. And then here's remove the S in Butler's. And then this one's supposed to be leave.
Was leaving.
Okay, as Bob was struck in the pallid room, he felt like this was so tedium as he washed his hands in the tepid water. As Bob was leaving the bathroom, his butler, ugh, goodness, in Dios weariness, so he went out to comfort his butler.
Awesome. Okay, so what was the power room? He felt so tedium is a state of being bored, right? Or something that is boring. So we say, but as Bob was stuck in his powder room, he felt or we could say wash his hands in tepid water to cure him of this tedium, right? Tedium being like the state of being bored, because it's a noun. So we could say it like that, or we could say he was in a state of tedium and he washed his hands in tepid water, whatever. So regardless, tedium isn't used correctly here. So that would need to be fixed. And I think you could just fix that by reordering this and it'd be pretty easy. As Bob was leaving the bathroom, his butler's insidious awareness his butler insidious awareness. Yeah, there were some edits here, so this would need to be fixed too. So we could say his butler's insidious awareness concerned him. So he went out to comfort his butler, right? We could say that. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Also, the hymn is supposed to be in.
The hymn is supposed to be in.
I mean the other one, the soon set in hymn.
Oh.
A spy waded through the tepid water that ran through the palace sewer warrior Bob, the indigenous witch who lived in the castle above him, but tedium soon set in and the spy fell asleep.
Due to water that ran through the palace sewer, wary of Bob. The insidious witch. Okay, so this is a separate subject, right? Spy went through the sewer, wary of Bob. Then separately, the insidious witch lived in the castle above, who lived in the castle above him. Oh, sorry, never mind. I'm confused. Bob is Bob's insidious witch who lived in the castle above him. Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. This was totally my misreading of this. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff, Annabelle. Just when I read Bob and the Insidious Witch, I just assumed it was two separate things. Okay. Let's go to the other page. Okay, Austin, would you like to read yours?
The tedium of the daily routine was interrupted by the insidious arrival of a wary, polite stranger who offered a tepid greeting before quickly departing.
A wary pal stranger who offered a tepid greeting before quickly departing. Oh, nice. Good stuff. Awesome. Good use of all words. Okay, Joe, would you like? Oh, I see you. I just see you edited yours. I'm gonna use your new one. Sorry, Johnny. Your character's name is Joe. Okay, Johnny, would you like to read yours?
Joe was tedious before he became wary of the pallid and creepy smile of Bob came into the room. Later, he went to the tepid sunlight.
Joe was tedious before he became wary of the pallid and creepy smile of the pallid, creepy smile, Bob. Something's a bit off here. So he's tedious before he became wary. Okay, before he became wary, we could say that the pallid, I would even get rid of this creepy smile of Bob came into the room. So his smile comes into the room, which also implies that he has come into the room. Later, he went to the tepid sunlight. Now, the only thing with that change is now it's unclear whether you're talking about Bob or Joe. So that would then need to be fixed after. Or even before, really, like it's not exactly clear who the he is in this context, but But yeah, good stuff overall here. Tedious, pallid, tepid, uh, weary. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, we have quite a bit of time. Let's move on to some people, it's their favorite section, the hot take section. Um, Next week we probably won't have this section. Next week it's probably going to be a poetry analysis, so keep that in mind. Um, so this is the last hot take section for a little bit. But hot take. So, Johnny, how this works is everyone submits a hot take and defends their hot take. A hot take is just an opinion you have about something that a lot of people disagree with. For example, if I say baseball is the most boring major sport in North America today, even though I fully believe this, there are a lot of people who disagree and say, no, what? Baseball's awesome, right? I mean, baseball stadiums, people still go to them. So clearly there are a lot of big fans. Um, then there's also like some people say pineapple on pizza is a disgrace, and some people say pineapple on pizza is awesome. So those are some examples of hot takes. So anyways, I want everyone to give a hot take of yours, explain why this is your belief, defend your position, and present it in a persuasive paragraph. Only thing is, because we have a larger class today, I'm going to cut this down to 4 minutes. Okay, starting the timer now.
But then I just forgot to like take it away. You can have it. You remember I was calling you and I had to check though. Dang,
All right, time is up. I've given you guys actually a bit of extra time. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Okay, Ethan, start us off.
Schools should let us use our devices during break and lunch. First of all, having a break can calm down the mind of a 13-year-old and give the child the break he needs so when the class starts back up again, he will be fully recharged.
Awesome. Just little tweaks here. First of all, having a break can calm down a mind of a 13-year-old to give the child the break he needs. So I just like to add that, make it a bit smoother in my personal opinion. He needs so that when this class starts up again, he will be fully recharged. Awesome. Okay, so I don't think you need to add that first of all if that's the only point, but I guess maybe you thought you were gonna add more. Okay, should let us use our so also another thing, if you say us here, you can't say you're here. Just say school should let us use our devices, etc. Okay. But nice hot take there, Ethan. Okay. Johnny, would you like to read yours? Johnny, I can't hear
One
you.
second.
Oh, sorry.
First, let someone else do it. I have some technical difficulties on this side.
Okay, sure. Samuel, would you like to read yours?
Dogs are better than cats. Cats are more independent, and the point of a pet is to have a companion. Also, dogs are more playful and actually enjoy time around. Cats just live in your house rent free.
Dogs are better than, wrong than, right? Cats are more independent, and the point of a pet is to have a companion. So cats are more independent. I don't think and is the best choice of words here. I would say comma, but, right? Because they're almost contradictory points. So cats are more independent, but the point of the pet, etc. It makes your sentence stronger. Also dogs are more playful and actually enjoy time around. I think it means say time around you or time around their owner. So that needs to be clarified. Cats just live in your house rent free. Okay, nice. Um, this is kind of funny. Uh, okay, let's I don't know if this is quite a hot take. I think most people lean towards dogs, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay. Johnny says he's ready. Johnny, would you like to read yours?
Pineapple belongs on pizza because if you hate it, it's insulting Hawaii, and it's also healthy, unlike other toppings like pepperoni or buffalo chicken, etc. Pineapple is sweet, and people like sweets.
Awesome. Okay. So actually, if this is going to be a list, you can just get rid of the or and say, unlike other toppings like pepperoni, buffalo chicken, etc. Also, pineapple is sweet and people like sweets. That is true. The healthy point, that is a good point as well. As long as it's like more like if it's like real pineapple and not pineapple in soaked in like pineapple syrup, then yeah, that's true. Um, it's insulting Hawaii. So what's funny is pineapple pizza is actually made in like Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I don't know why. I guess I don't know why they call it Hawaiian. I guess just pineapple associated with Hawaii, but it actually has nothing to do with Hawaii, which is kind of funny. Um, but nonetheless, I guess now that it's associated by name, it is kind of insulting Hawaii too. Okay. Also, that's also funny because I think most of this class loves pineapple on pizza. This came up like many months ago. Okay, Russell, would you like to read yours?
Influencers ruin dining. If your first thought is this Instagrammable instead of is this delicious, you're eating for influence and views and not flavor. Food influencers have turned restaurants into photo studios where the lighting, plating, and aesthetic matter more than taste. Chefs, in turn, feel pressure to design TikTok-worthy dishes with towering stacks, colorful sauces, and edible gold instead of focusing on balanced flavors and I don't know why there's two spaces, but authentic techniques.
Okay, awesome. So, um, comma inside. Uh, you're eating for influence and views. I would say instead of and, we could say influence and views instead of flavor or something, right? I think it just makes it a bit better. Um, rather than saying influence and views and not this. Be I guess it's sort of a preference. This is sort of my preference. So I'm just gonna maybe I'll what do I do? I'll do like a light blue to indicate that that's my preference. Okay, food influencers that turn restaurants into photo studios. True, 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 true. Chefs in turn feel pressure to design TikTok-worthy dishes. Great, great, great. I think this is in my personal opinion, I think this is pretty valid. I went to this dessert restaurant once where it was like the coolest like design atmosphere. So many like signs on the wall where it's like you're expected to take a picture with, etc. But then the actual desserts were not that great and it was super expensive. So they really just tried making money off of people coming there to take pictures, which in and of itself is not terrible, but I wish it was a good dessert place as well. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Sunsets are better than sunrises because, first of all, sunsets have a vibrant and colorful blend of red, orange, and yellow, while sunrises are a bland mix of pink and yellow. They definitely aren't worth waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning just to watch the sky turn pink for 5 minutes. Sunsets, on the other hand, are both prettier and easier to see. All you have to do is look outside while eating dinner. Sunsets are much more convenient and beautiful than sunrises.
Interesting. So I would just get rid of this first of all.
I
And
think I meant to do a second of all and everything, but I think I forgot.
oh yeah, no, that's fine. It's not only just because you didn't do a second of all. It's just that if you're going to the starter sentence, it's better to how do I say this? It's better to maybe just say this is your strongest point. Um, and then you can expand on that later, rather than saying this is just one of the points in your intro sentence. So this indicates to the reader, hey, this is your main overall point. Now everything else is just supporting this, or maybe is extra, right? So yeah, and then all of this supports this main intro. So it's better to take out the first of all. It doesn't need to be in the intro. Funny enough, I also agree with this. I think sunsets are better. I woke up for a couple sunrises with my partner a long time ago, and man, just waking up that early to see it is not the best. The benefit of sunrises though are after the sunrise is complete, you could go and you still have the whole day ahead of you, whereas sunsets mean, the day's ending. Okay, cool. Good stuff, guys. Okay, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Actually, no. I was gonna say, do we want to attack each other's opinions or move on to the next activity? But I feel like everyone's opinions here are most people agree with most of these, so we'll skip attacking stage. Um, Johnny, if you don't know what that is, usually what we do is we do the hot takes, then each person has to attack someone else's hot take and argue against it. But for the sake of this class, because the hot takes today were pretty tame, let's say, we can just skip that altogether. Let's go to the article of the day. Okay, article of the day, always late, blame your time personality. All right, let's get into it. Who'd like to read first? Russell, start us off.
Early in their relationship before they married, Anne Kelch was working from home and enjoying making dinner for her partner, what she called the fun of the domestic role. He told her he'd like to eat when he got home at 6 p.m. That was a bit on the early side for Miss Kelch, but she was willing to accommodate until she eventually realized that when he said 6 o'clock, he meant 6 on the dot. For her, the time was more like a suggestion. 8 o'clock is the time when curtain goes up at a show, and you must be there for 8 o'clock, she said. But dinner? It's dinner. It's dinner in our own house. I could not understand that sense of rigidity. Punctuality became a constant source of friction. Miss Kelch, who had struggled all her life with getting things done on time, used to say, I married you, I didn't join the army. Meanwhile, her husband was frequently bothered by her inability to arrive promptly to appointments and gatherings, a habit he considered rude.
Awesome. Let's keep going. Let's get who wants to read? Any volunteers? James, can you read this one?
Arguments about punctuality are common, but experts say that they are often really they're often about something else entirely. The different ways we relate to time. Social scientists have worked for the better part of a century to understand our varying approaches to the clock. In the 1950s, the anthropologist Edward T. Hall coined the term monochronic and polychronic to describe different cultural attitudes to time management in Northern Europe and the United States, which Dr. Hall labeled monochronic societies. He wrote that people tended to emphasize deadlines and work sequentially, completing one task before moving to the next. In Latin America, Africa, and Middle East, he founded what he called polychronic societies, where he observed that people were more comfortable shifting gears in the middle of a task and less rigid about sticking to a schedule. Dr. Hall's insight may have inspired generations of organized theorists and management experts, and while he organized originally many made or observations about societies, he and others have observed that people's individual time use styles are varying considerably.
Awesome. Okay. Um, yeah, so this is interesting. So who here has heard of the expression 9 to 5? Anyone here? 9 to 5? Nobody has heard the phrase 9 to 5. Okay, thank you. I thought I was going insane. So yeah, it's very common in, North America. We say 9 to 5. That means, most jobs will people start at 9, end at 5, right? And that is a monochronic society. Mono meaning one, and then chronic meaning time, right? So, um, so yeah, most jobs are working 9 to 5, and then you go home after that. But polychronic societies, it's not only Latin America, Africa, Middle East, even in Europe, a lot of countries, like, you don't exactly work 9 to 5 rigidly. You work, 3 hours in the morning, then 3, 4 hours in the afternoon. There's a lot of sort of varying schedules around there too. So those are considered polychronic societies, which is kind of a cool concept because, especially being raised in North America, I thought, originally I thought, oh, this is how every culture works. Um, okay. Continuing onwards, let's get maybe Annabelle. Annabelle, can you read this?
Studies suggest that people are most creative, motivated, and productive when they can work in their preferred style, whether that's dipping in and out of multiple tasks or focusing laser-like on a single one. Becoming aware of your own relationship to time can make your life easier and help you negotiate conflicts with the people around you. One thing at a time or everything all at once. A good way to gauge your values around time use is to notice how you respond to interruptions. If you're prepping a presentation when a colleague calls to discuss something else, do you pick up and say you're busy, or do you make time for what might turn out to be a 20-minute conversation? If the response to this scenario is that you'd send a call directly to voicemail, you're likely monochronic, said Donna Ballard, a chronomics expert at the University of Texas at Austin. People who manage their time as a series of tasks to take off the to-do list tend to live by the clock and are primed, at least during work hours, to prioritize obligations over relationships.
Awesome. Okay, so um, this is quite interesting. Um, if you're doing homework, let's say, do you do you if you're doing homework and someone calls you, do you tell them that you're busy doing homework and you'll talk to them later, or do you try and answer and continue your homework later? Put a put a 1 in the chat if you would respond and say you're busy and to that you'll call back later. Put a 2 in the chat if you will pick up and talk to them and deal with whatever, and then go back to homework later. Mm. Seems like the chat, most people are people who would tell them they're busy and then we'll get back to them later. And then Johnny, yes, Johnny's the other way. He says he will handle whatever. Okay, he will handle it and then do his homework later. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm definitely more on the 2 side. Okay, interesting. All right, Johnny, would you like to read this one?
For someone like this, an interruption, almost by definition, is irritating, said Alan C. Bluedorn, a professor, professor emeritus of management at University of Missouri, and author of The Human Organization of Time. Polychromic people, by contrast, tend to give primacy experience and relationships that don't always fit neatly into prearranged schedules. The other day, a cousin of Miss Clash was visiting out of town. Although she had an assignment to do for work, she decided to put it off for a day so they could go on a hike together. Not every deadline is truly urgent, she said. So when interruptions come and I feel like they're valuable enough, it makes me to reprioritize. Furthering these social interactions rather than shutting them down can throw off a person's schedule, an inconvenience that some are willing to tolerate if you tend to be late. Because you're trying to fit multiple people's need into your day. You are polychromic, said Dr. Ballard, author of forthcoming book Time by Design. What's the rest?
Oh, you can't see the bottom. How communicating slow allows us to go fast. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's get who hasn't read it in a while. Ethan, can you read this one?
Mara Waller, a senior research scholar at Colorado State University College of Business, reveals in her monochronicity, focusing intently, gives us the opportunity to take deep dives into our task. Really be thoughtful, she says. The time style also allows people to see a single project through completion. For certain tasks, it's so efficient because you're blocking out everything else, Dr. Bartlett said. A downside, though, is you can get so locked into the plan, you lose out serendipity and fail to notice opportunities when they arise, said Dr. Blue Darn said. Dr. Waller, who studies the work of high pressure teams, holds deep appreciation for people who are capable of handling many things at once. Years ago, for a research project, she sat in an air traffic controllers at which is now Georgia Bush's Intercontinental Airport on a busy weekend night, watching them manage critical data and box commands without losing their cool. If you see someone who really needs, who really, who's really chronic in a multitasking situation and they have a good grip on it, sometimes it's kind of like a ballad, she said.
Okay, very interesting. If you see someone who's really someone who's really good at multitasking and is polychronic can be amazing, but it seems like otherwise high pressure teams are generally monochronic. Okay. Let's get to any volunteers? No? Okay, let's do Samuel. Samuel, can you read this one?
People who easily shift between tasks are also at an advantage when it comes to handling life's messiness. One of the benefits is that you have a realistic view of life, and so you won't be distressed when things don't fit into your time, Dr. Bellard said. You're also less likely to get burned out by preserving on a single task. Dr. Bluedorn said a 2023 study of people balancing college with nearly full-time work revealed that those who naturally took on multiple tasks at a time were better able to balance competing obligations without becoming emotionally exhausted. But on the flip side, these flexible folks can be easily distracted and may engage in what Dr. Bluedorn called unproductive dithering and have trouble finishing what they start. How to make your time style work for you. Time use styles are preferred, not a trait, Dr. Waller said, meaning that people can adopt a different approach. It just won't feel as comfortable. Shifting when it serves you, though, will make you more effective, Dr. Ballard said.
Awesome. It's a preference, not a trait. You can take on a different time approach and force yourself to accommodate if you want. Right. Okay. Let's get Austin. Austin, can you read this?
Is your goal here relationship building? Then go polychronic, she said. If your goal is to complete a task, then
then we need to be monochronic for a window of time and shut out all distractions. For those who organize their lives on a strict timetable, Dr. Ballard suggests building in buffers periods of up to an hour between engagements. So if things start to extend, you're not stressed out. Meanwhile, people who deviate from their schedules could try the inverse, writing down appointments half an hour earlier than they actually are. And for compulsively punctual people who are easily frustrated by others' delays, Dr. Ballard suggests keep carrying work or a book. You can stay productive in moments when someone keeps you waiting. If you don't feel your time has been wasted, you may be less annoyed. The key is to remove judgment, Dr. Ballard said. For both personalities, what will help is to recognize that everyone doesn't see time the way they do.
Interesting. That's quite interesting. Um, okay, let's get right into it. The big question, what is your time personality? Are you more monochronic, someone who is often on time, likes completing tasks one after the other, and gets frustrated by interruptions? Or are you more polychronic, someone who sees time more flexibly, prioritizes relationships over deadlines, and can easily shift between tasks? How do you know? Okay, let's do this one. We'll do kind of short, 3 minutes. Actually, we can even do 2 minutes. It's just a short, like, couple sentences, right? Okay, starting the timer now. All right, time is up. Let's see what you guys came up with. Okay, Ethan, would you like to read yours?
I think I'm on monochronic because whenever I'm disturbed in the smallest way while working on something that's due in a week or less, I basically go nuts and ask them to leave me alone so I can do my work.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, okay, let's go, Annabelle. Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
I consider myself more monochronic than polychronic because I don't believe in putting aside essential deadline to to make way for less important activities. I also find that whenever my mom tells me to take out the dishwasher while I am doing my homework, I feel really frustrated and all.
Yep. Yep. No, that's fair. I also feel annoyed when I'm doing stuff. Um, can I read slide 30? No, what do you do here? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I guess I never explained the I never explained how this works. So for Johnny and I guess for everyone, just a refresher. So once we get through the article, then we go through questions on the article. So now we just answer questions pretty much. But it's always related to the article. So let's go into a couple more. So James, would you like to read yours? We have one more question after this.
I
So
am more polychronic and I prioritize assignments depending on when it is due over doing them all at once. I do half of one and begin the next assignment and do half and then wait for the day before the deadline to finish both off.
I do half of one. Begin the next assignment. So we don't need to end here. Begin the next assignment. Then do half and wait for the day before the deadline and finish both off. Wait, why would you wait for the day before the deadline?
Because I'm like, more like, I don't know, it just feels better.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Yeah, I also used to do that when I was in school because for me it was like I needed that pressure of, or else I had a hard time completing it. Okay, Russell, would you like to read yours?
I consider myself monochronic since I complete all homework before doing anything else, and after that, I feel relieved.
Okay, definitely monochronic. Um, okay. Let's do this. Let's do this one. Okay. Mara Waller, a senior research scholar at Colorado University's College of Business, suggests we shift to a different time style when it serves us. In what cases might you want to adopt a different approach to time? How might doing so help you? Okay, so we'll do this one. We'll do 3 minutes. Should be, and I really hope everyone. Oh, we have one more response from the last activity. All right, Johnny, would you like to read your response?
I'm more polychronic because I can do more than one thing. I can do my homework for 1 minute, then go run around the house to warm up, then go back to my homework, then repeat.
Awesome. More than one thing at a time. I can do my homework for 1 minute, then go run around the house and to warm up, then go back to homework. You can do your homework for short periods of time, like 1 minute. That's so crazy. Good for you. Good for you. But that is definitely polychronic. There's no doubt about that. Um, okay. So let's go back to the question. Um, when should we switch to a different approach in time? How can that help you? 3 minutes starting now. All right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay. Let's just trying to get all of these on screen right now. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Samuel, start us off.
Where is mine? Oh wait, sorry, I see it. Anyways, I might want to adapt to a different time if the current one isn't affected, even if I'm very comfortable with my current one. I will try to change it up a bit.
Awesome. Okay, so just in general, potentially, if it's not effective. Okay. I was looking a little bit more for like specific scenarios, but that's fine. Um, Ethan, would you like to read yours?
I'm typically monochronic, but in the event of something more urgent and important than the thing I am doing, then I will immediately switch.
Okay, so you're pretty much you're monochronic, but yes, you are aware that sometimes priorities need to be adjusted, and um in which case you'll just adjust your priorities. I think that's still considered like monochronic, like you're just readjusting your priorities, but then you're still doing one thing after another. Like if as long as you're working on one thing at a time, then I would consider that monochronic. Um, Even with like if there's an interruption, but the interruption just is a priority interruption. I think that's fine. Okay, Russell, would you like to read yours?
If I had homework, I have tennis practice right after, and I don't have enough time to finish, I'll have to switch to polychronic and learn to continue my work after an interruption.
Awesome. Okay, nice. Um, okay, so yeah, you're acknowledging that there are situations when you need to switch. Um, that's something I wish I learned earlier in my schooling. I was very monochronic in when it came to like I would always try and do all my homework in like one group of time, but that's very hard to do, right? You guys have tennis practice, piano, etc., jujitsu, so it's kind of hard to learn how to chunk things up and bundle things up and whatnot. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Sometimes schedules aren't the most important things. Being flexible is also necessary. For example, if you are supposed to go home after school, but your parents signed you up for a tennis lesson instead, you are forced to bend your schedule a little bit to accommodate the change. This is what happened to me many times, and I wasn't the most happy person.
Awesome. Oh, both you and Russell are in tennis. Cool. This is what happened to me many times, and I wasn't the most happy person at the time. I would say I wasn't the most happy person. I would say in those situations. So instead of because you said it happened many times, so at those times maybe. That works too. Okay. Johnny, would you like to read yours?
Probably gonna be more monochronic when a 700-word essay is due about World War II and is about World War II and is due next week because it's 700 words and I don't know much about World War II, so I have no time to waste.
Probably gonna be more iconic when a 700 word essay is about World War II and it's due next week because 700 words and um about World War II and it's due next week because so actually there are little tweaks we can do to this to make it a bit clearer. I'm probably gonna be chronic when a 700 word essay about World War II. If we say is about World War II, the reader almost thinks, oh, The problem is that it's about World War II. And then you can continue, so then they think, oh, it's not that. But if we just say a 700-word essay about World War II, the reader does not sort of assume the issue is that it's about World War II ever. So about World War II, and it's due next week. When a senator. Okay, so I would actually even take rid of the end. Probably more monochronic when a 700-word essay about World War II is due next week because it's 700 words and I don't know much about World War II, so I don't know much time. This is a bit smoother. Flows a bit nicer there. And yeah, I agree. When you have 700-word essay due to soon, then yes, you need to be a bit more monochronic in those situations. Okay, the homework. So Johnny, if I don't know if you have been given access to the writing forum yet, but there is a writing forum where you answer the questions for homework and you just submit it there, and then we have editors who will go through and edit your responses. So if you don't have access to that, please get your parents to contact Dr. Joe's and they will give you access to that. So anyways, homework question for today is, what do you see as benefits of your time personality? What are some of the drawbacks? Word limit is 350 words, due next Thursday, and submit your answer on the writing forum. And then this is just a little fun thing. We had a class about meditation. Like one of the articles we discussed was about meditation. So I have this bonus little task here if you ever want to participate in it. Just let me know your score. Current record is Russell at under 2 minutes. Which is kind of funny because I kind of thought you guys would be able to get up to like 5 minutes, but anyways. Okay, that is it for today, guys. I will see you all next week. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye.